18th of February. We're going to get started with Euro USD. Something interesting that we found out just now, actually, we should point out that George found it with his picky eye. What he is looking at right now is a diamond formation. This is a classical technical pattern. To be honest, it's pretty good. It probably as good as it gets. These patterns are characterized because as very profitable. Very rare patterns. They play out also. Their success rate is not very high, but the thing is that they have a very high profitability, risk to reward ratio. Besides that, we're still in a larger long setup. We've talked about this one. This is the halfway back, basically, for the year, and we have seen some participation in the euro over here. Actually, we have seen pretty good participation, to be honest. Right now, whoever took this long first touch is free. One thing I want to point out. We discussed this with George last Friday. This big of a front run over here and this perfect trade, this long setup, could signal to us that the short has not traded, basically. It could mean that once people saw participation over here, this thing was sold off before touching the short in order to be able for people to get filled on again on the long. So right now we're seeing good participation. This pattern, we're not going to rely too much on it. As I told you, the playout is very hard of this thing, but once it breaks and if it starts going the proper way, has very high profitability. It's if the pattern plays out, it's extremely profitable. A lot of bullish things, starting to emerge in the Euro USD. The bullish case starts to look, very serious. Downside has been quite sloppy. The disturbing thing is that we've basically traded not annexed in the series as we should, but we've traded this short over here, which is not the best of shorts, as you can see. We're basically charting on a 1 hour graph right now because I wanted you guys to have a look at the larger setup. Let me just get rid of the tweet deck so you guys can see properly what's going on. So yeah, pretty much this is what we have on the Euro USD. Definitely there's some buying below us. It's interesting to see that the target of the halfway back short is almost perfectly aligned with the 61.8% line. So I don't know, even if this short goes to target, I don't know if we can count on it to break the long side. Yeah, we'll see. Implications are if we go below the 1327, I pointed this out in the morning briefing, we're going to probably see the 129, which is the full halfway back. Long in Euro USD. Yeah, if a break of this short signals to us that the diamond formation is in play, and also the long side is in play. We're gonna keep a very close eye. Today we don't expect serious price action because it is a holiday in the US, so things are gonna get really slow around the 4:30 mark, basically the close of Europe. 6:30 mark in Bulgaria, and also 11:30 mark in New York. Any questions, guys, regarding USD? Pretty straightforward. We've talked about it in both the morning briefing and the weekly recap. What are the requirements for the diamond to play out? cover. Just a sec. Let me load the webinar on my laptop so I can properly see your questions and I know when somebody's typing. Um, okay. We're going to talk about that. Let's mute that. Okay. So first cover. What are the requirements for the diamond to play out? Well, pretty much the diamond is just a supporting. We're not gonna rely too much on it. It's just a supportive pattern over here. But if you have to be 100% technically correct on how this thing should play out, if memory serves me right, we haven't looked at it in a long time. We will have the initial breakout from here, which is supposed to be something like this. Hopefully it will break out, hopefully it will break the short, also giving us an idea in the halfway back system that longs are starting to play. And then if, I'm again saying if memory serves me right, it was either a hold of this trend line or of the lower one, but I think it was this one. So it will be something the likes of breaking a halfway back short, giving us an entry for the halfway back, which also would align with the pullback for the diamond formation, and then it's just crazy upside supposedly. We'll see. Diamond, it should start playing out by tomorrow, or otherwise it's going to be invalid. Basically, over here it's going to be the last pullbacks that we have, and it should start breaking out. We'll see. Might be even in the Asian session. Okay, we're getting some downside in the euro right now, at least in a 15-minute graph. Okay, guys. Joko, you're asking the head and shoulders. Is it a part of the diamond? No, it has no relation to it. Two separate patterns. To be honest, I don't know what you're referring to as the H&S in the Euro USD. Are you talking about this thing? Is this what you're referring as to the H&S? Yeah, that's a good. I don't know. Doesn't look good to me, to be honest. I don't know. It's not the best of Head and Shoulders is. Certainly looks awful. I'm gonna tell you what it looks like after we finish the recording. Me and George have a name about this thing. Okay. Any questions? Any questions regarding the euro? You know the name? Yeah. So it is, that thing. That's what I think it is. It's not something that you would. It's not. It's just that what George explains to me. It has explained a lot of times to you guys, and I'm very, strong proponent of this thing. When it comes down to patterns, patterns have to be very, very good looking. Like they have to be like you just tore the page off, from a book, and you just, put it on your screen, and it's right there. Okay, Peter says. 134.25. Anchor looks like it being retraded after it broke resistance. 134. $134.2. What do you mean, Peter? Am I again having problems with the price data, or it's George? Can I have a look at a chart of the USD, please? It's okay. What do you mean, Peter? Can you send me a? Can you just send a screenshot in the chat? I know I don't know what you're talking about. 134.2 anchored to lows. 134.2. You're talking about this thing. Wait, sorry, I'm a bit slow today. You mean this thing is coming into play? Peter, well, let me get into the small series now. Now I see what you mean. Sorry, buddy. It's a bit of a it's a Monday, so I'm a bit slow. Had a rough weekend. Let me tell you why I don't like this thing, this extension, because we traded basically in halfway backs, and over here for me it's not a valid. If you have to be 100%, go by the system. You didn't have basically it's not a lower anchor of a traditional that we traded over here. You see, that's the only thing that I'm a bit concerned about. But maybe if we go down to a 15-minute graph, let me see. There was something I didn't like about this, and that's why I drew up the halfway back short. And after that, it received participation, and basically it was a confirmation for me. Okay. So I think it was. On micros, it does connect. I don't know. I consider this traded to the front runner traditional, then this, and then the problem was we didn't have this thing never held. As I saw, it was again, just it's quite a big front run. But in general, is I took this anchor, and because after that this thing never traded, so I think we have a halfway back over here. At least that's what I think we have. And once we, this was a perfect play, Peter. That's why I'm looking at this. It was a perfect hold of the 50% line. I like seeing these things in the market. Of course, if we take this anchor, it's a break. But after that, nothing signaled to us that we have long side. That's the only problem. We don't hold any participation from below. We don't have any participation. Let me fix the chat because I cannot see properly. George, does the chat look proper? Can you have a look at it? Doesn't look proper. I don't know. Could be, buddy. Could be that it's attached itself. If I make the case for the, well, if we follow my case over here, it's a pretty big front run. Front run of 8 pips, almost 9 pips. So yeah, you could be right, bro. We could be trading, this thing. Yeah, definitely the euro dollar over here is in a pretty big mess regarding the micros. Definitely wouldn't, also, you see that this thing broke. Now it's respecting again. Maybe algos are a bit. Also, they don't know what's going on right now. but to be honest, we'll see. Well, I am going to consider both things, to be honest, Peter. I am going to consider this and also the halfway back. It's going to be, but definitely my confirmation for going long will be the break of this thing above the 34 or so, because participation was perfect over here. Participation was perfect. You think they've taken the margin on new low? Problem is hasn't gone to target. Yeah, if we take the new yeah, could be also could be this. I hate taking the lower anchors. You know, sometimes it's a mistake, sometimes it's not, because we haven't reached the target. But yeah, could be this. Looks more proper. I was probably attached themselves to a margin on low. So okay, guys, any questions on what me and Peter were just discussing? I'm pretty sure for him and me it's pretty clear, but for you guys.
And boom goes the yen. The wolf goes free.
Okay, George is saying that longs got free off. Okay, USD JPY. Let's go to it. Enough with the USD. It's boring. USD JPY. Here you are. Okay. What I'm considering, but this probably will never happen because the yen I don't think it's going to come down. This is what traded, you know, before the gap. This is what we held, and after that we had the gap. So in a larger 15-minute time frame, you would expect to have basically your most solid of anchors. Let me just get rid of the halfway back short because it's not valid anymore. Will be the 93 520 approximately 530. You know, this is what you would look for. What I observed in the morning is that, you know, it's this thing never, you know, never traded properly. But if we take, you know, basically an anchor from here, it's once goes to target, same anchor, new high. And as you can see right now, we're receiving participation. George is basically looking for the whole halfway back. And as you can see, it trades perfectly. It's receiving some participation. Don't know what to make of it right now. What is exciting about this trade for me and this anchor, which I showed you the first time, is that it almost aligns with the gap fill. Okay, we're having internet connection problems again, George. Guys, can you hear me? Okay, probably it's my laptop. Probably it's just my laptop. Okay, George says that everything's okay, so I presume it's okay. So yeah, what I like about this trade is the fact that basically the 50% almost aligns with the gap fill. Gap fill is pretty much at the 93,444 for me. Yeah, the 93. This will be, you will consider this a gap fill once if it comes down to here. And I will be definitely participate. If I see this today, I will definitely participate, even if it's during U.S. session, because you know, we don't have you know, the U.S. over here, so when you never know, of course. One thing that comes to mind right now, if we have a look at the whole, but it's I don't see the yen going below the gap fill. So it will be a surprise for me if the yen goes below the gap fill. USD JPY in particular goes below the gap fill. I expect the USD JPY to be the more aggressive one, the more, you know, supported one, supported the yen pair right now. Yeah, Abgerman, I will too, buddy. For sure, I'm gonna take this trade. We expect basically upside in the end. To be honest, I presume that the market was just waiting for the news from the G7 and IMF, to see that they're not gonna, the BOJ is not gonna get us scrutinized because of the things that it has done in the forex market. They are gonna, basically continue with the version that it's only for domestic protection from deflation and only for domestic purposes and all that, of course. And on top of everything, the U.S. is not, they're not the people to blame anyone for manipulating their currency or for printing money or whatever you want to call it. Just a second, guys. Okay. Okay. So I think it's running smoothly. Probably was just my laptop. So yeah, if we see this, we're definitely going to participate. Have in mind, George is talking about this. Also sticks perfectly. Could be it. The end could get a massive bid. We'll see. George explains that this is an A equals C. Yep, could be this. He's been right about the yen, not for the first time. He's played the more aggressive extensions, so he's been in the move more than me. I'm always on the cautious side, waiting for larger retracements, which has played me a bit of a bad joke on me sometimes. Because yeah, also have in mind, if we zoom out, have in mind that this thing is in a very annoying range over here. Larger setup is pretty clear. We've talked about it. The 90.250 to this lower high, as we have not reached the targets since the first time this thing traded. So basically, it's a retrade at 9. So. Okay, guys. Any questions regarding USD JPY? Pretty straightforward. Nothing difficult regarding the halfway back system. Okay, moving to Euro JPY. George just would like me to mention that the Euro Yen has reached its minimum target objectives. That we've posted through the site. What I wanted to talk about, first is the fractal play within this. The times that we've been stuck. If you have a look at this thing, which we have over here, and the way it played out, I don't think we get much similar than this. Just have a look at it. I don't need to. It's just you can see it with a simple eye that the fractal play between these two. Okay, just switching to the Euro USD very quickly. George wants to point out something.
Поделник рейндж, беше абсолютно едно към едно. Това е абсолютно еднакво на това.
На кое?
И като време са еднакви.
Кое на кое?
Миналия понеделник ето тук са и това. И като време спайковете са еднакви.
Okay, George is explaining the last Monday's breakout. Basically over here, what we have to the downside is the same. It's a fractal play. Algos have begun to be very silly, or I don't know, it's just us, our eyes, started being, very potent to this thing. But George is explaining. He will post a chart. Well, actually, he's going to explain it when I finish. I'm seeing it also. Fractal play, basically this thing is the same as this, and on the top of everything, what George is saying is that the spikes are at the same time, which means that algos are in there and they're defending the long. So pretty much we're gonna expect the same, same thing play out. I'm gonna have a look at it also, but George is gonna explain it properly. If he says that it's like that, so. But George, aren't we expecting one more low?
No, oczekujemy low with the possibility.
Okay, George says we're expecting lows to be the same. Although
Значи, по принцип, минало предишния седмица, миналата седмица, понеделник сутринта, е бил почти същия лоу, който имаме тук.
Okay, George is explaining the last week.
On Monday.
On Monday, very important. The 8 o'clock.
Значи, лоу в 8 и лоу в 2 часа са почти еднакви.
The low in 8 and the low in 2. GMT. So it should be 6. It should be 6 GMT because I'm on local time.
Виж спайка сега как е. Сега 12 имахме, сега към 12 имахме и този outside, сега чакаме спайк нагоре, rejection overnight и спайк на... Дай да го чета. Дай ми една линия. Което ще е точно видите на даймонта да направи. Така. Ето тук да ви тесне даймонта. Виж, и тук ще ви тесне и този даймонд. Ето така. И ако мога малко вдясно го отиваме, ще ти го веки благодаря. Това е fractal repetition, ако се издигае.
So what George is explaining is pretty much the same thing. So we have a lot of things, going for us on the USD. We have the diamond formation. Let's just go over it again because it's important. This setup is going to be very interesting. So we have we have the fractal repetition. George is going to go through it. So ours pretty much align. He's going to go through it because he just noticed it, and he's been he's more familiar than me right now what he's talking about. I'm just a bit in the dark right now. I'm just doing it by heart. We have our diamond formation, which right now looks not so good. Let me fix it up a bit. We have our diamond formation, which to be honest right now is starting to break out. I don't know if you guys see how it kept the line almost perfectly. It's a bit of a, but it should be like this. So this is as close as you get pretty much. Yeah, we expect either a break directly of this short and after that a halfway back within this over here. That's what I expect personally. So we have the fractal repetition from last Monday, very important. We have our diamond formation, and hopefully we'll have a break of short, which will give us a retracement, or at least give us an idea how to get into the micros. So we'll see. Is he in the?
Yeah, he's there.
Okay, Lucas. George says he's 100%. With you on what you just said. Okay, guys. Very good, very good. So we're looking for potential upside in the euro. We're looking for potential upside in a lot of places, but a lot of pairs. Okay, so we were having a look at Euro JPY before George made this incredible discovery. Yeah, and I was talking about the fractal, coming back to fractals. This is as close as you get, to fractal repetition within the market. I'm gonna fix up a chart of this thing. Basically, what George is saying is that this top over here aligns with this one. This one aligns with this one. Okay. And this big thing over here are the large two. In terms of half-wave back system, it's pretty much the same. he's sitting right next to me. What I like about this is that the lows are very identical. He likes the highs. I like the lows. Lows are extremely identical. So you have this low, which pretty much, let me just zoom in, which pretty much aligns with this thing. It's a perfect hold of the 50, and then you have the small dip within the 50, which is this thing basically, and you never reach the 61.8% line to trade. So this is as fractal as you get, except you see this is just a smaller repetition of this thing. This is just, we have these two highs. If we zoom in here, let me just go. Do you see? We have the two highs. The two highs are over here. Let me zoom in so you guys can properly see what I'm talking about. And to be honest, lately I've been, really, this is the same thing as the first high that we had in the year JPY. But what I like more is, okay, George wants me to have a look at the extension. Just a sec, buddy, because it's a bit hard for me, with this. What we had here, yeah. Okay, so let me just get rid of these things so you guys know what we're talking about. Which one, George? You want me to talk about the...
Този малко на микротопчето е тук. Защото е абсолютно същия като екстенжен,
This
който е
one.
там.
What George is talking about is that the extension we held over here. Let's zoom in. It's a bit hard. I'm sorry, guys. My platform is not the best for this thing. So what he's talking about is from here, George?
I think so, I'm not sure.
So he's talking about this. It's not from here. It should be a bit. It doesn't hold. Ah, you mean the first time? Okay, so what George is telling us is that the first time this thing held 114.768, 768 over here. If we go to the larger, retracement where we identified the fractal repetition, it's almost the same thing. I presume he's with this high. If you draw to the first time, it's yeah, repetition is pretty fractal in terms of pretty much the same. Remember, guys, we were talking. Me and George were talking. I explained that this was the hold over here. This was the extension that took us up first time. So it's just a matter of anchors. But I don't know. You can see how basically the same this thing is. What I like about this fractal repetition is the lows. If we go to, let me just see it on a 1 hour graph. If this thing would, are you guys getting what I'm saying? Like, are you? Are you getting what I'm? For me, it's the play of the lows. For George, is the play of the highs. What I love about this is that if we get rid of this thing, what I love about this is the way the lows play out. You have one hold of the 50% perfectly, then you have a dip within the 50. Okay, not the best of similar, like never reaches, dips into the 50, never reaches the 61.8% line. Same here, dips into the 50, never reaches the 61.8% line. That's what I like about this thing. And of course, it's pretty much the same. So it's the same as you get. Problem is we have a holiday today in the U.S., so this thing might play out tomorrow. We'll see. It's just a matter of time this thing breaks to new highs. Okay, guys, any questions regarding what I've just said? Did you get it? Did you manage to see? My platform was a bit all over the place because we worked on a smaller time frame. Any questions? Fractal play is incredible. In your JPY right now, the fractal play is incredible. And to be honest, if we go to Euro Aussie, I'm sure we can find fractal play over there right now going on. All of the Euro crosses pretty much trying to do the same thing. Okay, guys, can you just excuse me for a sec? I'll just run very quick to the little boys' room. Okay, guys. Any questions? Come on, please. Okay. No questions, I presume. None that I see, though. Okay, let's move to for example, your GBP. No, let's go to gold first. Let's go to gold because we have had a development over there, and I really want you guys to see what we have in our hands right now because it will be a profitable play. Okay. So just looking at it from the first time, I have some things drawn over here. So what I posted in. Okay, let's first let me not just do that. Sorry. What we have in gold is a 1754.34 to the 1635 lows retracement, which traded twice, almost 3 times. And right now it has filled its targets. What's going on? Sorry. Which has filled its targets right now. You can see the target was 1607. Right now we're keeping an extension. We could make the case, this extension actually sticks pretty perfectly. In the morning I wasn't looking at the series because we have a completion basically of a larger short. You could make the case, and if I just drag this one, if you take this low with this one, you could make the case that we've held also this. But to be honest, right now looking at this thing, the way it sticks with anchor 1639.33 to lows looks very good. To be honest, looks extremely good. Of course, guys, have in mind right now we have the possibility, for gold, as we have completed. This is not a series of shorts, this thing, because from the top, we did this thing didn't hold the first time. So this is not a series of shorts, or at least we would like to think so. If there right now there is the possibility for us to take the 1754.34 anchor, drag it just to the low over here that we have right now, giving us a participation level. Okay, let's get rid of the larger support level because it's not valid anymore for sure. Giving us a participation level of the 1675.93. This would be a gigantic short for gold if we get there. If we don't continue in these extensions. What is interesting to see right now, I'm just looking, but I think it's halfway back. We are receiving a participation from the halfway back long. This thing will be very illiquid, have in mind, especially with the US not in right now, not trading this thing. Gold, very bearish, extremely bearish. We've been talking about this, that it has been very bearish, has been breaking all of its long setups, and we've just been waiting for it to go down. So here it is. We witnessed the drop. So right now we either continue shorts or free off this extension. This traded overnight. I couldn't participate, unfortunately. So if we get a break of this extension, we have a break of the smaller trend, down, and we expect to get a participation at the 1675, 1675.89, almost 1676. So this will be a very, very interesting. And I will not be, I will trade this first touch with a small stop loss because the first time it touched these 50%, from this anchor, the reaction was this. It was this reaction. Of course, we had the the test, but if I have this, I think that I will be able to think of something to push up the stop loss a bit or something. But first touch will be the way to go with this one from this anchor. So if algos sabotage themselves and we have this reaction on the first touch, let me just, if we take the low of the 1650.35, look at it. Doesn't get better than this. This is what your dreams should look like. Of course, if you dream about price. if you dream about something else. Yep. Okay, guys, questions on gold. Gold. Yes, no? Do you like it? You don't like it? Is it good? Is it bad? Come on, people. Look alive. Show a sign of life. Is there anyone in the chat? I'm joking. Yeah, so gold is pretty good place. You would be, you would, you, you know, again start looking at it properly after we broke this idiotic range. People saying that gold is cheap, buy it 1628. Yeah, I don't want to name people on the Twitter feed, but you have those yeah, nice people that said that gold was cheap at the 1628. I think it's cheaper now at the 1611. What would you say?
It's overpriced.
Yeah, me and George, we have. By the way, guys, if I go and like minimum target objective over here is the 1528 because this is a 50% larger term, like 50%. I don't have it on this price feed because my broker is a bit skittish with price feed, like with historical data. But if I pull up a TOS chart, this over here is larger 50%. We're gonna discuss that probably tomorrow when we have more people in the chat. I don't wanna, you know, it's not going anywhere right now. So. But yeah, 15, 1530, 15. Target is the 1560. So under $20 to the downside would serve it good to the 1540. And then we're gonna see if there's commitment for buying gold. Then we're gonna see if really gold is underpriced. Okay. So yeah, me and George think gold is overpriced. Have in mind we have a larger, long setup in gold. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow, I promise. Not going to talk about it today. Okay, guys, let's move to your GBP, for example. Euro GBP. Little bastard. That's all I can say. Very hard to catch that one. What we had in the morning is that this thing was stuck between 50%, but now it's just basically broke. So interesting front run of the larger 50. It's the so we can make an argument right now that we're trading. No, not this. We can make an argument that we're trading this thing, an extension drawn from 0.84697. Very unconventional because hasn't come into previously into play. Extremely annoying. But what can you do about it? Price is price. So yeah, first time this thing trades. We had our traditional halfway back short, which is which isn't here anymore. Shorts are basically devastated, and of course we had our halfway back long after the break of shorts. It did give. It was first thing we had. Let me just move to a 15-minute time frame so you guys, because I know this by heart by now, but looking at all day, So this is the first 50% we had over here with this lower anchor. So we consider this not a break, and goes to target, breaks shorts, as you can see. And then this thing likes trading. I noticed it, lately. This thing likes trading. Same anchor, new high, traditionals. It likes them. It just likes them. So yep, trades perfectly for a run of 2 pips. It got it. This was the morning spike in the pound. This thing. I don't know if you guys remember. There was a. Okay, it's not a morning, but um, around 12 o'clock GMT, I presume. Let me just have a look at where it is. The spike in the pound today was at. Yep, 1 o'clock GMT was the candle. 1 o'clock GMT was a spike in the GBP to the upside. So gave the pullback and try to trade it right away. I couldn't even like the moment I saw the pound, trading that thing, switched to your GBP, but it was gone already. So yeah, the ship, I'll probably try to get in on the micros because I can't stand this. I've been missing this for the last 2 weeks. It's been, it's getting on my nerves. I'm gonna have nightmares from this. Okay, yep. So this is it for your GBP. Okay, guys, do you want me to have a look at something else? Because if not, this is it for me. I'm not looking at anything else particularly right now in the market. To be honest, yeah, that's what I was going to say. George also doesn't have a lot to talk about. Very slow day, very very illiquid. Yeah, guys, have it's a holiday in the U.S. If you don't have positions, go have a coffee, go have a beer. The weather's out, out is nice. USD ZAR. Okay, I haven't looked at that one in my life, but I will. Yeah. Okay, I will, Joko. I will. Protecting investments, I presume. I'm joking. Okay, let's have a look at that. I haven't. Yeah. I have to add it. I don't have it as an instrument. It will be interesting to see what the black dollar is doing, as they call it. Da-da-da-dum. What the hell is going on here? Okay, let's start with a forward chart. Okay. Just waiting for the chart to backfill. Yeah, but I was what I'm getting back to what I was talking about. If you don't have any positions to defend, we basically have some office work to take care of today, and that's why we're over here. But if you don't have positions to take care of, just leave it be. Okay. I don't know if this is the best way to look at this thing, but okay. Should have probably looked at TOS. Okay, so this is the first 50% we have. Okay, so this thing likes trading traditional, son. Or is it a full 50 same anchor? Okay, so this is same anchor, new high, traditional, trades almost perfectly, tests quite a lot. So right now, this thing is to target. Actually, it has been twice to target. So interesting. This is what we held when we had the first spike. Perfect hold was 61.8%. This thing is actually pretty technical for something traditional. Stick perfectly. Okay, Joker. So what you have on your hands is a larger long setup completed. First, have that in mind. So, larger setup is this thing. If the series breaks, you're expecting a retracement to 8.3. Right now we're seeing participation of the halfway back drawn from 841 approximately. Two highs. Okay, this is probably as accurate as I can get it. On the short side, of course, having reached targets is you have one traditional, Goes to extension, doesn't stick. You have two traditionals. Breaks trend. Now we have the full halfway back traded. Interesting is the full halfway back short does not break long trend. So either it will be a spike to the downside or it will be spike to the upside. New halfway back, which right now is defended, gives you participation level. Gave you actually participation level at the 8.78643 with targets above it 933, basically 9.35. Just put it like that. And also in the not the micro trend, but the smaller time frame, defended the halfway back right now and is almost to target. So having a look at this, it will either defend the next in the series, or you just drag it like this. That's it. So your next participation level will be either the 8.83 or the 8.86. Supposedly, if it just sticks to target. Short side on the smaller time frame. Okay, let's maybe move to the smaller time frame. First of all, 1 hour graph. Okay. What am I? Two-pip range in the USD. Drucker, you see this is an extension drawn from 8.95636. Same anchor, new low breaks. So at this point you had this thing sticks to traditionals. Look at it. Hates, So on the short side, this thing has just ran into halfway back short. And what you have is this. It just likes halfway back shorts. And you can make a case that this thing is right now to target. So if you short it right now with a stop loss at 8.91, you could be in for a larger swing for the larger, to get into the larger trend. And by larger trend, okay, by larger trend I mean you can trade it. If this thing breaks there, you can trade it down to the 8.282. Of course, I don't know I have no idea about the implications about this thing right now. Fundamentals, you should know more about the fundamentals. Are things going worse or good, or bad or good, or so? Would you share some insight with us? Okay, yen trades halfway back, starting to go to the upside. Okay, this short is receiving participation, Joko. Have in mind. I don't know, like if you think that South Africa's rand is overvalued, this is your play, man. Okay, receiving participation in Euro USD. What else? Yen starting to go to the upside. Euro dollar breaks the diamond formation in the sense of starting to to get into play. Let's have a look at. Joko, is this enough? I think this is like as technical as we get. I don't think you cool. Okay, but interesting. This thing sticks to halfway back to Georgia. Do you see how technical this thing is?
Yeah, I know. Do you know it's actually very liquid, man?
Yeah, it is, man. It is. Looks good. We should.
Actually, I'm more in the Mexican peso.
Oh yeah, use the MXN. That thing is. Okay, I don't know. Should I delete this or should I keep it? So we'll see if it plays out. Exactly like this. This will be a keeper.
Keep it. But screenshot. But like do
a screenshot.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do a screenshot.
Check it in spam.
Yeah, guys, we will appreciate it if you give us a like on the on Facebook. We just created the Facebook page. George is gonna type it in on Skype. Would appreciate it if you guys give us a like. Okay, we now have a screenshot of what we just drew over here. So if this thing, you know, this thing works out properly, we're gonna, I don't know what we're gonna do. Pop a bottle of champagne or something. Let's see. Okay, guys, any questions? No, but you can see them on his profile on Facebook. He has constantly, updates. Totally joking. You think? It's not a joke, Steven. It's not a joke, man. He continuously posts drunk photos of himself on his Facebook. It's not good for shareholders, Oh. Okay, guys, any questions? Anything? Um, okay, so this was pretty much it.